Good afternoon once again, ladies and gentlemen. You already know who it is. It is your boy Lewis, and I am back once again with another banger with yet another video. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to always keep receiving the latest content I truly provide. Appreciate you guys as always, and make sure at the end of each video, make sure to like and share this video. It'll only help the channel grow. Truly appreciate it. Hope everybody is having a wonderful Friday afternoon. We made it through the week. The weekend is coming up. I can't wait. I'm excited. Got some things going on, but definitely always will stay on that grind and still keep providing anytime I try to find the time to make videos. So I will continue to do that. So let's hop right into this. So I wanted to address two things. So as you guys know, the situation that happened in Utah on Tuesday when Russell got into an altercation with that fan, and he said some very, slander racial things towards Russ. And then he tried to lie in the interview about what he was trying to intentionally say and, tried to play it off. The Utah Jazz, as the organization, they banned the fan from any further events, whether it be NBA games or anything that's related to the Utah Jazz. And so what I want to connect this to is basically people really need to stop disrespecting Russell Westbrook, especially when it comes to the media. I've noticed certain media members, for some reason, are trying to put the blame on Russell Westbrook because he's not thick-skinned enough, and you can't let fans affect you for what they say. You need to understand something. Russell Westbrook he's not just an athlete. He's a black professional athlete. He's under the Jordan brand. Russell Westbrook is a very hard worker. He's very blue collar for someone who you would have thought if Russell Westbrook, for the $1 million he makes, you would think that he's a guy that really doesn't really have anything. So in other words, he comes into work and does the best job that he does possible, and he brings it every single night. We could critique him on his defense. We can critique him on his shot selection. We could critique him on his decision making. If there's one thing we cannot question about Russell Westbrook, it is his heart, and that he has that dog in him, that no matter what, he's going to give it to you 110%. So, and every time that Colin Cowherd is to Russell Westbrook what Nick Wright is to Kobe Bryant, because for some reason, they always find a way to bash these players. The subject may not be about them, but they've tried to find a way to connect it to them. And like Chris Broussard, but it doesn't make any sense. But they'll still do it no matter what. And I say to myself, and people keep talking about this whole thing with LeBron James. Now, LeBron James is a whole different subject, okay? And I've said on many videos, and I've critiqued points, and I've tried to make objective arguments for LeBron James. The thing is, the way he's gone about the stuff that he's done this year with the whole Laker organization in his first year in Lakerland is why you gotta really critique it and, like I said, break it down analytically. But with Russell Westbrook, like I said, I've gone on to say that Westbrook is very conscious of the triple-double. Shout out to him. He's only the third player in NBA history to record 130 triple-doubles because he got it last night. He got it on 19 points, 11 rebounds, and 14 assists. Paul George had 36 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. But Paul George tied the game at 104. But then Wesley Matthews hit the game winner. So shout out to Wesley Matthews. Shout out to the Indiana Pacers fans. Again, shout out to fans of Oklahoma City Thunder too, man. But still, I just hate the disrespect that Russell Westbrook gets. He's really tried his hardest this season to really mature as a leader. Now, one thing I will say is that both him and Paul George, this is why I had already said that the best player is up for grabs and things like that, because right now there's no clear-cut best player. People want to say it's LeBron James and it's not even close and he's by a mile. I was like, no. LeBron James is not a two-way player that he once was. And then with Russell Westbrook, I'm just sick and tired of people always finding a way just always find a way to nitpick something about him, just for apparently no reason. It's getting really tired. He's really playing his heart out. He's really trying to make an emphasis of giving Paul George and letting him have his shine. If he was about the triple doubles and just continuously stealing rebounds and continuously take away touches from Paul George, then you can make a point and you can say, well, you could probably never win a championship with Russ. Listen, I'm gonna admit it. Look, you could say Luke exposed out here, okay? I'm one of those that said that Russell Westbrook looked like he may not ever win a championship because of his play style. And part of it is, like I said, is again true. But one thing I will never question, I said, look, man, I really want Russ to win a championship. I said, what's preventing Russ from winning is his decision making. If he would improve in his shot selection and his decisions on when to pass, when to shoot, like try to find a balance, he would, like I said, he will get like much more credit. Now, to Russell's credit, he's getting triple doubles, but the difference is by letting Paul George do his thing, it's leading to victories. So they're finding a way to complement each other. So I give Russell a lot of credit for improving on that. And to me, there's no need to bash Russell Westbrook for that. Now, one thing that the Thunder, to me, again, are still the weaknesses that they still have is bench depth and shooting. Yeah, like I said, they're a great defense. When they really when they really, once again, put it all together, they're a great defensive team. You add Andre Roberson into that mix, and you got two dope ribbons in him and Paul George on the defensive end. And like I said, the Thunder can give problems to the Golden State Warriors. Like I said, the Rockets are really the one team just because, again, they're the ones that faced them for 7 games of the Western Conference Finals. So many theories on if the Rockets could have won or not, but that may be the case. But like I said, my point is that I just think that the Thunder, in order for them to win, they're going to have to, like I said, they're going to need the three-point shooting. And because they're not one of the more consistent three-point shooting teams in a 7-game series, it's going to hurt when they go into scoring droughts. And like I said, if Russell doesn't improve his decisions in playoff time, when the game really slows down, and he's still trying to go at 100 miles an hour, it's really going to hurt the Thunder's chances because it's going to make what's already kind of a struggling offense, even though the Thunder average clearly over close to 110 points per game, but that's also due to this era, mind you. It's going to be even tougher to score baskets. And like I said, they have the length, they have athleticism on defense. If they had the shooting to complement those things, man, the Thunder would be arguably the best team in the NBA. And I said arguably because you already have your star players, your two superstar players, star and superstar. But this video basically is just telling you that Russell Westbrook has no need to be disrespected. And I also wanted to do shout out to Gail Miller, the owner of the Utah Jazz. Shout out to her and the Miller family for going out and addressing a public statement to the fans of Utah when the Utah Jazz were playing the Minnesota Timberwolves last night. And she basically talked about how, it's not tolerated for fans to come and again, be rude to NBA players, and, to be disrespectful. They have a right to be at the game. It's like I said, they have the right to cheer or boo. It's like if you say things that are not creating a fine line, if it's going borderline, disrespectful, like if it's going to that line where it's like, those are just things that you don't say to a person, then you have to be banned from the game. And what I did like from the Utah Jazz is that they acted accordingly once that guy did that. They didn't try to do a little investigation. It's like it's clearly on the tape when you hear what he says. So, I'm happy that they took action right away. But now what's going to bold the question is that now what is it that fans can say or do? Because, see, that's kind of the controversy. And this is a very touchy subject in terms of, what can you say or what can you do at an NBA game? Because if it gets out of hand to the point where like fans continue to get banned, it's like now we have to kind of honestly sit in quiet. It's like you could cheer, but you can't boo, but you can boo, but you can't cheer. So it's like I feel like a lot of these like changes, it's going to just create a lot of issue because then it's like fans are not going to really know what to do at an NBA game. Next thing you know, fans are going to stop wanting to come to the game and they're going to watch the game on TV. And then, there's probably kids who are probably like, I would love to see, a player live or fans that come like from other countries, they come from long distances just to come to an arena to come see, their favorite player to play, just one time because they may not get the opportunity to see that player play again. That's just going to create to me a lot of controversy, and I just don't know what's really going to make of this. And then I'm just going to wonder what's the incident of this that's going to be created, like I said, around the league. Because one thing's for sure, the NBA does not want to recreate another Malice in the Palace. That's for sure. And we need to stop getting personal. It's like fans need to understand. You need to understand basically how to heckle without being offensive, if you want to say it that way. because I think a lot of times we use a lot of our emotions and we use a lot of feelings without really thinking, especially when you're in a prisoner of the moment. In the heat of the moment, you say things that you don't mean, but sometimes when you honestly continue and babble on, then you're doing it with a purpose. So then you have a reason to say what you're doing. But I honestly think, like I said, like Russell Westbrook, like I said, we could critique him, but we critique him as a basketball player. Like I said, you can't question the things that he does on the court, especially, like I said, if he's giving it his all every single game. Like I said, you could say that Russell, that, with the profanity, but sometimes it's kind of difficult to hold that in, like, as a human being, because, like we said before, Russell Westbrook is a human being at the end of the day. Fans, we're humans at the end of the day. But there has to be a level of respect between players and fans. Like, it's wrong for a player to go into the stands and get it at a fan if a fan says something, because then once again, even if the fan said something, the player themselves went out of line because they went into the stands because they wanted to address that fan. And then what that happens is it's going to create a very chaos and very unsafe environment when you do that. So that's what the NBA really needs to really figure out, in terms of in what ways can their rules really create a balance to where it's safe for both players and fans. And I think that that's going to be an issue that they're going to have to really talk about, I think, during the offseason, after the season is over, when the playoffs are done. But yeah, so like I said, shout out to Gail Miller. And like she said, basically, like, players are not our enemies, they're our competition. I love that quote that she said when she was addressing her statement. Some of the fans in Utah were acting like, it was kind of empty, and some people were kind of like, I saw some people in the comments on YouTube when she had made that statement, that they were like, when she said that Utah's not a racist community, and about like 12% of them kind of like clapped and stuff like that. Like, I don't know if they were being serious or like, trolling. So we really don't know. But once again, I like the fact that she has respect for her players and respect for the organization. And it's so crazy because mostly that entire team is mostly black on the Utah Jazz. So it's, it's pretty crazy. But I think, like, whether they're black or white or whatever the team is, you honestly, like I said, there's just a fine line you don't cross. And the NBA needs to figure out what they're going to do in order to make sure that we have a safe environment for fans to be able to come enjoy the game, and players will be able to compete and play without having to deal with fans, whether they put a phone in their face and put it to social media, just to get, 15 minutes of fame. And I just think some of the things they do are ridiculous. And then players getting personal, like touching phones or stomping them and breaking them. So, like, there's got to be a fine line between that. But anyway, I just wanted to shed some light, and this is why I said, like I said, Russell Westbrook, definitely, we could critique him, like I said, in terms of his basketball. But, one thing that brother does, man, he comes on the court, brings it, leaves at the end of the day, man, did my job to the best of my ability. Like, you got to put some respect on Russell Westbrook's name. Put some respect on Russell Westbrook's name, man, because that dude is a baller. One of my favorite players. Like I said, he's just got to get better up here. Maturity, though, wise, in terms of letting Paul George do the thing, I commend him. I just want him to do, like I said, better decisions. And I hope the Thunder can really make some noise in the playoffs, because him and Paul George have got to prove a lot of doubters wrong, man, because there's just a lot of things that they got to deal with. Or else, what happens when they don't get it done. Narratives will be created. That's just the way it is. But this is your boy Lewis with another video. Shout out to Gail Miller once again for the statement addressing the issue and what further needs to be done in the future for, like, at more Jazz games. And like I said, what the NBA needs to deal with. But once again, shout out to her. Shout out to Russell Westbrook. Shout out to the Oklahoma City Thunder fans, Paul George fans, even the Utah Jazz fans. Like I said, it's not all of them. It's just against certain people that heckle. Like I said, it's a very hostile environment. But make sure you like, share. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. This is your boy Lewis once again. Bless up. One love. Peace. Thanks for watching.